tell you, with the forces we have, I don't know of anybody who will challenge us. I don't know of anybody who will challenge us. And I tell you, it's like tomorrow is 2027. It's like tomorrow is 2027. So all these people will come and will just rest. For me, it's still very far. I can't wait. The two leadership of the party, that APC is here, PDP is where can you find that unity? Which state? It's only in Rivers where you can find that unity. And that's what most people don't like. When they see people are united, working together, they find something how to make sure they are divided. But since we know, we are refused to be divided. This is only state where the ruling party will win for president. The opposition party will take for the National Assembly. Election that was on the same time, the same minute, the same hour. Clap for us. This is what we call uncommon. This is what we call uncommon. I will thank God that uncommonness has been brought to us from our major uncommon friend. I want to sincerely thank all of you. I believe that God is the infinite blessing will continue to give us the strength to work together and to support Mr. President. See, so many people, what I found out in this country, we hardly remember yesterday. We are in a rush. We have problem. But you have not asked yourself, God, wait a minute, how was yesterday? To solve the problems of this country cannot be a miracle. Decisions of Mr. President is what, if we are patient at the end of the day, we will get to where we want to get to. It cannot be easy that way. That you wanted to bring a policy that something that has spoiled for years, within 6 months, you have changed it. Even if it is a miracle, it is difficult. It is difficult. What we require is give him support. I believe in the Renew Hope agenda. I seriously believe in the Renew Hope agenda. And we're going to do anything to continue to support Mr. President. You know, I was watching television after the court verdicts of every election. Every government that comes out, he said, I thank Mr. President for not interfering. Immediately that has expired, people are saying a different thing. You see, Nigeria is a very terrible country. I was watching every governor after Supreme Court judgment. After they thank God, the next one is who? Mr. President. Just after 2-3 weeks, everything had evaporated. Now, it's a different thing. Mr. President, we are dying, we are doing this, we are not doing that. That's the country for you. But let nobody lose hope. Don't lose hope. Why you should not lose hope? If what we are doing in Abuja today, it means that Mr. President will do better. What we are doing in Abuja today will show you there is a sign of good things coming. It is Mr. President. Some people say, we can do well. We say, monkey the job. No, we are doing anything. If three no anything, let monkey job now. Oh, we can do well in Abuja. If President is not supporting, let me come and do well.
Yeah, that's Wike talking about the renewed hope. We have seen what the renewed hope is anyway, and I'm guessing for most people, and for Nigerians, Wike was talking to himself. But I just wanted to talk about these because I'd seen it when he first said this statement a while back, a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago. I thought to talk about it, but I shrugged it off because I felt that this weekend is normal way of doing in his normal way of doing things. So, but when you watch something once and then it stays in your mind and you watch the way the person gleefully speaks or the way he gleefully spoke on when it was, I think it was a church. And I watched the people's reaction and I thought, have these people forgotten history so soon? But before I go on to talk more about this, if you're meeting this content for the first time, please like, share, and then also subscribe. Put your comments in the comment section. If you've seen this before, let us know what you thought about what he said. And if you've seen this video for the first time and you've just getting to watch this speech that Wike made or gave, what do you also think? So I jotted a few things down just to use as a way to talk about this entire tape. So he started with talking about nothing can stop us with the kind of forces that we have come 2027. So imagine that statement. He didn't talk about the support of the people. He didn't talk about the fact that that maybe the people, the Nigerian people wanted APC back in power, but he talked about the forces. So I know most of you watched this. I know you've seen videos about it already, but I wanted us to just focus more on that forces. Who are the forces this man is talking about? I think it's the judiciary. I think it's the police. I think it's the military because we're talking about the people they use and the tools they use in rigging the last election. I think it's INEC. So we're wrestling now. We know that 2027 is about the wrestle and the wrestling for the soul of Nigeria. And we also know that these guys have already put, things in process for 2027 to rig the election. So imagine when Tinubu was not the president, he was able to rig the election. Now that he's president, how much more he could do or he can do, rather. So he talked about the forces, the thugs they will use to scatter ballot papers. And I hope those thugs have now learned the lesson that when they help these people steal election for 50,000 naira or 20,000 naira or 10,000 naira, that money will not be enough to survive them for another 4 years. So he talked about those forces. The last election they did, they used the police because report also alleges that they thumbprinted or they signed ballot papers in the police station. They took ballot papers that were meant to go to where they were meant to be submitted to the police station first to change the outcome. Okay? They will use the INEC. So we're looking at all those forces, right? They will use INEC as part of the forces to steal the election come 2027. Because like they did in 2023, there's every tendency that they will change the plan. They will change the process. Your voter ID card might not come to you early enough. Okay? And also, they will not return the ballot paper on time or they will not bring the ballot paper on time for you to vote. So, and they'll cause all this commotion and put them in place so that you don't have any choice but to just not vote so that they can rig the election. And then like what they did in the last election, they'll write the result themselves and take that to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court or the appeals court to now decide who our president is. For almost all the elections that has happened in Nigeria since 1999, the court has decided more than 50% of it, if not a lot more than that. So Wike talked about the forces. So I am trying to itemize for you the importance of Nigerians mobilizing together to make sure that come 2027, we would have sensitized a whole lot more people to make it so much difficult for them to actually bribe them. Even if they bribe them, they will take their money and not vote for them. Because the plan is still the same anyway. The plan is for them to rig the election. If the plan is not the same, if you think they have the support, people will not be doing the 30-day ranch lane. No. The country is very hard. This man's policies are bad. I'll give you an example, it's a quick one. Liz Truss in the UK became prime minister after Boris Johnson left, after he was forced down. And she was only there for less than 2 months. The policies that she tried to do hurriedly caused the UK to go back into recession. And that alone spiked up the interest rate in the UK and it's not come down since then. A woman made a decision. She was only prime minister for less than 2 months. 2 years later, the effect of that prime ministerial position on those policies she tried to do or enact is still being felt. Imagine what Nigerians will be feeling for the next 10 years after we had uh, um, Buhari and then we now have Tinubu for 2 years. Tinubu has been able to, destroy Nigeria even way more than Buhari did in 8 years. Everything has not more than 100% in double in price. The things that people used to buy for 8,000 naira before, they now buy for 16. Businesses have shut down. People are without jobs. They can barely feed. And this man talks about the renewed hope that he believed in, this Wike guy. He also was trying to talk about how the opposition and the ruling party can working together. He talked about how the opposition wins the presidency and then the state wins the state and the federal legislature. Please, it is a well-known fact now, beyond allegation, that the 2023 election was rigged. The presidential election was rigged, especially in the Obia core local government. So this man comes to rewrite history. You know the way Babangida tried to rewrite history recently? This man Wike tries to rewrite history. All right. So I'm just taking them in beats anyway. But the most important thing I want to want to talk about is this idea of this renewed hope, or the fact that he said that the forces that they have, it doesn't see who can stop them. So you can see the only people that can stop this APC government and this guy who's going to work so hard to rig election in Rivers State is the Nigerian people. So it's the ball is on our court for us to do this sensitization, to talk about this corruption that is happening in our country. That's why this station is that's why this channel is here. That's why I'm talking about it every day. So that when you're talking to somebody, you guys can play this tape and just listen, and then you can have your argument about how to fix it. And you can do the same thing in the comment section. Put your comment in the comment section. Let us have this deliberation in the comment section and see whether or not we'll not be getting close. Because for so long, they believe that we don't have a voice. And now that we're now rising up and having that voice and letting them know that we kept quiet for so long, do your worst. And he says this kind of partnership in Rivers State is uncommon. Look at what Wike has turned Rivers State into. Rivers State made one of the biggest mistakes ever. And the people that brought up this guy, Wike, the likes of Jonathan and his wife, as we've now come to understand, Odili and the likes and the Mechi, who brought this guy up, they've seen the monster they created to now destroy the estate. I said this in the previous video. Everywhere Wike has ever gotten to, every level he's ever ascended to, he's destroyed everybody in the process to get there. Everyone that helped him to get there, he's destroyed everything. And he talked about, he says, we hardly remember yesterday. Please, the people remembered Buhari. That's why they didn't want APC. And Wike rigged the election, helped rig the election to give him the ministerial position. We all know that. Everybody knows that that's the incentive that he got to become the minister. And I want to say this as well again. I guess you can challenge me in the comment section as well. I know for certain that, I believe that, rather than saying I know, I believe that. So I take that back. I believe that when Wike finishes his term and APC is out of power, there's trouble coming for him. So this man will do everything to stay in power, to be relevant, as he said. And also, maybe because Fubara was part of his government, they would have known where all the dead bodies were lying. And because his hands was also part of it, I'm talking about Fubara, it will kind of try to shield him. But I know for certain that if the day Wike goes out of power and out of relevance, he will run out of the country. And he talked about court verdicts, where I said already, governorship election decided by the court, senatorial election decided by the court. You remember Natasha Akpoti when Akpabio called her court pronounced legislators, senators. Akpabio said that. So imagine that. So you can see where we're headed. You're seeing where we're going. If we do not rise up as a people and start to make this it's never going to get easy. Don't imagine that these people will fix this country. This man talks about the renewed hope. People are dying every day on the streets. People are dying of hunger. People are being kidnapped every day. This Wike guy talks about renewed hope. What hope are we talking about? Where the government have become a terror. They've used the police IG to terrorize people who speak in opposition. And you say there's renewed hope and you believe in the agenda of the renewed hope. I don't know about you. I don't. So you can tell us in the comment section if you do believe in the renewed hope. All right. So I just wanted to talk about this evening because I thought it makes sense. Because as you go to bed, you just watch this. And when you watch it at any given point in time, think about this. Think about Wike. Oh, the announcement is that he's doing well in Abuja, but at what cost? At what cost? And the way he gleefully said it, I do not see what can stop us in 2027. The kind of forces behind us. You can see how our politicians, they don't think about you as the voter. They don't think about me as the voter. They think about the structure they've put in place to steal the election. And that's what they will do. So don't expect anything different from what you've already seen. I'm saying this clearly. Don't expect anything different. If you're thinking there's going to be something different from what you've already seen in 2023, is a lie. The only thing that will be a different output is we, the people, waking up and saying is enough. Time to get rid of this APC party from hell. As always, if you're watching this for the first time, please like, share, subscribe. And if you're meeting this content as well, again, as someone who's been following this channel for a bit and you're not yet subscribed, please do so. Click on the subscribe button. Leave your comment in the comment section. Let me know. Let us know. Come into the comment section. Let us have this debate as to how do we think we can get rid of APC. We need to get rid of APC come 2027. So let us know in the comment section what you think. God bless you and have a good evening. Bye-bye for now.